should be the X that breaks the frozen lake within.
Long ago, I was an impresario. I brought artists from all over the world to be seen in villages and in marketplaces. And my best artist, my most popular, most dedicated, impassioned artist was the hunger artist. Her art was fasting. She would fast, and everyone came to see. Children held hands in horror. Sometimes she would stick out a bony arm or leg for people to see. And the fast was only supposed to last 40 days. Who can muster up enthusiasm in a town for more than 40 days for a show? Nobody, but she insisted on continuing. We had to lead her away. When she fasted, the judges sat near her, ripping into their meat. They ate, and she watched them eat. And the sign was put up every night. The hunger artist, tonight. She was thrilled. She lived with fame and relative luxury. Still, she thought that people didn't believe that she was really fasting all that time. So she made sure to show herself, and she made sure to provide wonderful food for the judges, to make a contrast between the judges and her. The judges ate, and they ate in front of her, and the people came in throngs. But some years passed by, and soon people were no longer so interested in her, because that is a very old-fashioned art. Nowadays, people don't really go for that. They don't buy it. But she insisted on continuing, and she had me book her into some other location. Now, of course, she's very nervous and doesn't want to be bothered with details, so she didn't read the contract. But the contract put her outside of a zoo in a cage. There, people would pass her on their way to the animals. And frankly, people didn't stop that long to look at her anymore. To see the hunger artist again for years and years, it was no longer really sensational for them. But she insisted on continuing, and she continued her art. She continued and continued her art. Finally, she was in the last stages of her work, outside of a zoo, in a narrow place, where people would pass quickly through the aisle to run to see the cougars and the tigers. And they would pass her by, pass her very quickly. But she continued. She continued to fast. And after 40 days, she again did not want to leave. She couldn't understand why people didn't take her seriously anymore, why people had no interest anymore in her. But she just stayed and stayed at her job. That was her art. It was her mission in life. And there she remained while children ran past her cage to go to see the cougars.
Ah. I only wanted you to admire me.
That's what happened at the end. People forgot all about her. And the overseer of the zoo came, and he said, "What's that thing over there? What is that?" "Oh, it's you? Are you still in there? Are you still fasting?"
I only wanted you to admire me.
"Well, we do admire you."
Why should you admire me?
"Well, because you're fasting. You're wonderful."
I can't do anything else.
"What do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me."
I don't like any food that I've ever seen.
"No, really? And that's why you're fasting?"
Of course. If I liked the food, I would stuff myself the way you do.
"Really? Well, we admire you even more." The hunger artist was buried with his straw, and a cougar was put into the cage. The cougar ripped at the meat, and children and adults went to look at him with great pleasure. And the era of the hunger artist was over.